I salute this collaboration, this big effort that students make to improve research and to keep up it at an international level.
În viziunea mea este esențială colaborarea dintre universitățile și instituțiile de cercetare în domeniul sănătății.
To me, it's vital to have this kind of collaboration between the institutions and research parties.
Și cu siguranță, în comun, ne dorim să creăm rețele de specialiști pentru Republica Moldova. Rețele care să permită să implementeze proiecte de calitate împreună, să transfere parte din expertiza lor în țară, dar și să preia din inovația și creativitatea națională pentru a aduce faima la nivel internațional.
She salutes the fact that networks are being created of new young specialists, especially that this knowledge will be applied part of the local expertise to improve local infrastructure, but just as well keep up with the knowledge from outside and share it locally and internationally.
Mulți dintre acești cercetători sunt chiar aici, în această sală. Iar MedEspera reprezintă începutul spre o colaborare fructuoasă dintre Republica Moldova și țările partenere.
Many of the scientists today are here with us, and thus it's the beginning of a fruitful collaboration between our local researchers and those that come to visit.
Onorată asistență, dragi colegi, în încheiere vin să vă mulțumesc pentru aportul dumneavoastră și sunt sigură că acestea vor contribui nemijlocit la transformarea Republicii Moldova într-un stat sănătos, puternic și prosper.
So dear colleagues, thank you so much for your input, because I think this will bring a positive transformation to have a healthier country, a stronger country.
Vă urez succese astăzi și mâine în cadrul Congresului și sunt sigură că atât studenții din țara noastră, cât și fiecare din studenții celor 13 țări menționate veți acumula cunoștințe și experiență noi. Deci succese și vă mulțumesc!
I wish you good luck for the following days, and I hope you accumulate lots of knowledge and the sharing of the experiences that you get to have today. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Chebotai, for being here with us today. We're highly pleased to also have the Minister of Health and Labor. It's a great honor for us. Luckily today in the Presidium we have great doctors, professors from abroad, whose keynote lectures you'll have the chance to attend starting today. So let's warmly welcome Dr. Christoph Lange for a welcoming speech, who has been our guest for several years with the project Reach for Moldova and has made a great contribution for Moldova's healthcare system.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. It is a great honor to be part of this conference, especially as it is organized by the students. You are the hope for the people in your country, because you are the doctors for people in the society. Many of you are thinking of going abroad after your studies, because the grass may be greener on the other side. In the few moments that I have to deliver a speech here, I would like to ask you to reconsider that, because it is very important to your country that you who have been educated here will deliver healthcare in the future for your people. Some of you think, okay, perhaps not now, but a little bit later. And you hear today examples of people who went abroad and who are coming back, for example, to deliver speeches and who have made a career abroad. So there may be nothing wrong with going abroad for training, but please consider to come back to serve your country. Thank you very much for having me here and taking part in the conference. and I wish you happy 2 days.
Thank you, Dr. Lange. It's a well-known fact that no host is any good without its guest. So today we have a guest that plays an extremely important role in developing and building a strong network for our dentistry students to share his thoughts, expectations, and who knows, maybe already some impressions. I'm delighted to invite one of our dear guests from United States. Let me introduce you Mr. Stephen Mackler, a joint faculty department of Periodontics at the University of North Carolina of Dentistry in Chapel Hill.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is a distinct pleasure to be invited to talk to you. And I would like to share an important story, a journey that I started over 20 years ago. Next slide. I was in a medical mission in Bucharest, Romania, and the surgeon said, "Steve, let's go to Moldova." Do you need me to stop so you can translate? Do you need me to stop so you can translate? Okay, great. And of course I said, "Where is Moldova?" And it's a funny, I'll tell you the story. So we came to Moldova in December of 1999, and it was cold and dreary, and we visited a couple of hospitals. And one that made a big impression on me was the Children's Cancer Hospital. So I came back to my state of North Carolina, my city of Greensboro, and I called a woman who I had worked with in Rotary clubs, and she was the director of hospice in Greensboro. And I said, "I know where we can build a hospice, and they don't have one. But you've never heard of this country." And she said, "Well, Steve, where is it?" And I said, "Moldova." And she says, "I have heard of Moldova because my coworker is from Moldova and has adopted a child from there." And then she said, "Did you know that North Carolina has a relationship with the country of Moldova?" I said, "No, I've never heard of this." And there's a program in the United States called the State Partnership Program, where every state in the United States is paired with a country around the world to help establish the rule of law, democracy, mainly dealing with countries that were under different leadership at that time. And I don't know how, but North Carolina was paired with Moldova. So I said, "I want to go back to Moldova. I want to see about building a hospice in Moldova and what other medical needs they can do." Now, I'm a practicing periodontist, a dentist. I teach at the dental school 1 day a week for 45 years. But going around the world and traveling and trying to make changes is my passion. So we came to Kishinev, and we brought the provost of our medical university, Dr. Hershey. We brought the head of the state health department and 2 other dentists like myself. And we had a wonderful opportunity, and I told Dr. Bobby that I wouldn't talk about him too much, but because of Dr. Bobby, we had a fabulous impression and laid out a strategy for us to possibly come and help. So next slide. So we came back to North Carolina, we talked with the medical organizations, the dental organizations, and we said we'd like to do something with Moldova. So we started bringing professors from across the United States in the field of dentistry to the dental school here, and that was a big success. Next slide, please. And here we are. I don't know if you recognize these young men there. We were 20 years younger then. But there we are signing the Memorandum of Understanding. And this visit had led to an expansion of programs, and we now have all 4 medical schools in our state that have relationships, the dental school, the School of Public Health, and recently a new collaboration, the School of Pharmacy. In fact, the pharmacy professors were just in North Carolina 2 weeks ago. And we're also working to help establish a 4-year BSN program for nursing. Next slide, please. Besides healthcare, there are 120 high schools and elementary schools in North Carolina that have distance learning classes with schools all over Moldova through Skype. Rotary International is extremely active, and your Rotary clubs here in Moldova have co-sponsored 5 nursing education grants to help promote nursing education in Moldova. We have religious organizations, we have small businesses. I can guarantee you that people in North Carolina know where Moldova is. Next slide, please. So, the reason this is so successful is we have been able to establish a trust relationship. Dr. Ababi has been fabulous. I can't say enough about him. And all of our colleagues here, so we trust one another. When we tell one another we're going to get something done, it gets done. So it's my pleasure to be here. This is my 19th year in Moldova. We have 6 dental students and 5 professors, and we're working with the Moldovan orphanage, and we bring the children into Kitchener, we do their care. But the main reason we're doing this is to try to make our students global citizens, to learn what it's like in another world, another culture. And it's been a fabulous, fabulous relationship. So I'll be glad to answer questions later, but that's why I'm pleased to be in Moldova. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mackler. Besides our foreign guests, we're also delighted to have one of our own graduates come back to share her knowledge and experience with us all the way from London. We're very proud to have our graduates represent our country abroad, so please give a warm welcome to Ms. Kelban, Research Fellow of University College, London Institute of Neurology.
Thank you very much. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. And as my colleague said, don't go abroad. Actually, do not listen. Just go abroad because it's fantastic. It makes you appreciate how precious it is to be at home. You only realize that when you are far away from your own family and from your colleagues and from your friends. And this is why I probably have to come back to this country every 2 months or so, and now just force myself to come back home. I found myself a reason to come back home, and that is that I really enjoy teaching. So together with the neurology department at the Emergency Institute, I am teaching medical residents and doctors in neurogenetics, and it is an absolute delight. So if you have an opportunity to go, but do come back, because that makes you stay sane. And I am really delighted to see that this event that started many years ago, and I remember being like you, a student, and sitting in this room. It started then, and it was small, and I'm really happy to see that it's still going on. Like many events in Moldova, things start and don't carry on, but this is really an amazing example of a thing or something that is really well done, and congratulations to the Association of Medical Students and Residents. And just a last thought, for those who are starting medicine now, this is the best time in history to do medicine, because there's so many fantastic opportunities, and the technology that exists now, it didn't even exist when I was a student 10, 20 years ago. All these technologies were not there. Like we're talking DNA sequencing. Well, in 2000, we've only described the whole DNA, and now we're doing whole genome sequencing. Look how much has changed. Like, I'm sure that Mr. Rector is a bit disappointed that he cannot be practicing as a young researcher right now, because there's so many more opportunities. And this is a wonderful time to be a medical student or a young doctor, and there are research opportunities around us. We just have to want them. And as it was mentioned, collaborations with European Union or the United States or other countries where they want to engage with that, we should really take advantage of it. I hope you really enjoyed this event, and I'm really grateful for the invitation. And I'm really pleased to see again faces and people that I've admired for so long. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kalman. This year's edition has registered a record number of participants from abroad, including all the special guests who are willing to join us today. We do believe that this is partially explained by SRMS becoming a full member of IFMSA, which is the International Federation of Medical Students Association. We're firmly convinced that this is an important step in our association's development, opening utmost opportunities from all over the world for each and every student of our university. This being said, please welcome our dearest guest from Sweden, Mr. James Giannani, a General Assistant of IFMSA Research Exchange Standing Committee.
Buonasera. That's all you will get. Now the rest will be in English. I really tried, but it didn't work. I'm really thankful for being here today, and it's really thankful to see all of you guys, and also you guys in here, collaborating with each other. 1.5 million students really can't be wrong. I'm really proud to stand here in front of you guys to tell you a little bit about IFMSA. So hopefully maybe more of you guys want to be engaged in it. It was founded in 1951. And since then, we have been building bridges across all of the continents. From Japan to Ghana, from the US to Israel, from Israel to Palestine, to Syria, and now also Moldova. IFMSA really connects people from around the world and give everyone an opportunity to do what they want. We also open opportunities to students worldwide. For example, just attending conferences, attending task forces, or maybe attending internships around the world. IFMSA really gives everyone the chance, no matter what country you come from. And IFMSA works on 3 different levels: locally, nationally, and internationally. And since the start, we have been working with so many different subjects. We have, for example, been working with public health, sexual reproductive health, and also human rights. We also have the biggest student-run exchange program in the world. Yearly, we send out around 14,000 students on exchange to over 100 different countries. Since the start, around 250,000 students have been on exchange. So if you look around in a room, you have around 500 people in here. So if you take this room times 400, that's the amount of people, times 400, 400 of these rooms. This is the amount of people that's been on exchange through IFMSA. But we students are not really working alone. We need help. IFMSA is working really close with the UN, WHO, the WMA, and also AMI. But also the universities, the governments, and the hospitals. Lara and her amazing team from the AMSR really can't just do it by themselves. I know you guys are also working close with the university and the rector, and I'm really proud to see that you guys got the full membership. And now you guys probably wonder, how did I end up here in Moldova? As the previous speaker said, to be honest, when I started medical school, I really did not know exactly where Moldova was placed in the map. I had some notice. And I really never thought I was going to stand in front of you guys here in Moldova to have a speech. My journey actually started 4 years ago when someone called me and asked if I wanted to take a beer with a Spanish exchange student. And after that, I've been can't really leave IFMSA. So I've been working locally first, and then nationally. And the past 2 years, I've been a part of the international team in the Standing Committee of Research Exchange, also pronounced as SCORI. And this conference is important in several levels and several ways. Not just because it encourages research, but it's also because it empowers collaborations between students and the university. Research is essential for medical field, and you can never reach the stage that we are in today without research. And don't forget that without research, probably most of us haven't been alive today, because vaccination, for example, is one thing that came from research. But also we can't forget to thank all of the people from the university side, the government, but also the mentors, the tutors, and everyone of you guys that have been being the tutors for the students in here. Without you guys, this conference probably haven't been able to do it. Well, IFMSA has been taking me and many other people around the world, really. For myself, I've been traveling around 25 different countries just the past years. And it's also giving me knowledge, it's empowered me as a person, but it's also giving me the strength to be a better medical student. I've been meeting friends from countries I probably never really would meet. Just here in the audience, we have Kumbat from Kazakhstan, we have Lera from Moldova and Nico from Georgia. I would probably never be meeting them without IFMSA. So if I could give something to you guys, it would be to really engage in the IFMSA and try to do something. It doesn't need to be that big. Because IFMSA really make impossible things possible. And I would like to end the speech with a small quote from the first IFMSA president called Eric Holst. The impossible we do tomorrow, miracles may take longer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Giannani. Last but not least of our foreign guests,